Alrighty, so hey guys, this is NintendoCollector, and we're back for another Nintendo review. And this episode will be on my very favorite game of all time, any game I've ever played, Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo. Now what makes this game so special to me is it's probably the first game I actually remember ever playing. And besides that, even if it wasn't the first game I played, I'm pretty sure it would be my favorite game of all time just because of the gameplay, graphics, and overall storyline. But if you've never played this game before, honestly I don't know why, or maybe you've never heard of it, and also I don't know why of that either, but it's one of the most known games for the Super Nintendo, and in my opinion one of the best. So let's get started with the gameplay, and first I'll give you a little bit of background, or the storyline, and I'll start back at level 1. Now the point of the game is you're Donkey Kong, and along the way you find your new friend Diddy Kong, and what happened is somebody stole all of your bananas, Donkey Kong, and that would be King K. Rool, the final boss. And the point of the game is to get him back, but along the line you don't really find like much of that. Like, you almost forget that's what the storyline is because you're doing so much other fun stuff. But if you can't tell for a Super Nintendo game, these graphics are outstanding. Probably some of the best of their time, along with Super Mario RPG in my opinion, of course. But there is a roll attack which kills out enemies, and to switch off the Diddy Kong, your little friend, there is also a roll attack which is like a cartwheel, and those are both used to kill enemies. Personally, Diddy Kong is the faster of the two characters, so he's better to use, but Donkey Kong is good for some other things too, and I don't know if I'll get into that. You might just have to play for yourself and find out. And here are some of the bananas that along the way you get, and once you get 100 of those, like any other game, you get a free life. Now here's a part where you have to switch and wait, actually you didn't have to switch, but you saw that DK barrel I just picked up, and what that is let's say I was just playing as Donkey Kong right now. Well, if I were to pick that barrel up and smash it, then I would get Diddy Kong back too. So basically, if you kill one character and you still have Diddy Kong, it's almost like having a free life, but in another sense it's not. You might have just saw that red balloon up there float away, and that was also a 1-up. There's different colored balloons which give you different colored 1-ups, and like different colored 1-ups. Wait, that didn't make any sense. They give you different like lives, like the color depends on how many lives. But here's something I forgot to show you in the beginning. That's what a standard 1-up balloon looks like, and you can see it just gave me 6 instead of 5. So I'm getting kind of off track here with things. This is just kind of a not confusing review, just there's so much to talk about, but I also want to make time for some announcements at the end. I just want to give you guys an overall feel of the gameplay and get through maybe the first couple levels. There's some more standard enemies, and to get past enemies basically you just jump on their heads, but there's a few that you cannot do that with, like what you just saw happen. You just repel off of them, and you have to use Donkey Kong to conquer some of the bigger enemies. Now what the star barrel is that's moving around in rotations is a save point. Now let's say I got the save point, but then I died later on in the level. That's where I would continue at. You might have already seen me get the K. I don't remember if I did or not. But what the O does is, yeah, I got the K. But once you spell out Kong, K-O-N-G, you also get a free 1-up. And Kong is in every level of the game, and it's you really also want to try to do that because it's basically just free 1-ups. There's one of my least favorite enemies in the game. But anyway, you see that golden ostrich coin there, and there's a few different animals of those, and once you get 3 of them, it takes you to a bonus stage that helps you gain 1-ups. Let's say you got 3 frogs, then you'd go to the frog bonus stage. I forget all their names. I know that sounds really weird to me since it's my favorite game of all time. But, yeah, never mind. Anyway, here is an animal box which contains a rhino in it, and all the animals have their special ability. Like the rhino, he just basically can maul through anything and take you to new secret passageways, such as the one I just went into right now. This secret passageway just contains a lot of bananas to help you gain a 1-up, and a 1-up balloon, so, you know, double the greatness. Anyway, as you can see, we're almost to the end of the level, and I just spelled out Kong, and it gave me an extra life. if you haven't been able to tell while I'm playing this, the graphics and gameplay are really, really smooth. And here's one of the various bonus stages you can find along the game that help you gain 1-ups. Like right now I'm going to try to get 3 ostriches. Oops, I didn't. But if I would have, it would have gave me another ostrich coin, and that would have added on to my one I got earlier and went towards getting you know, 3 of them, so it'll take me to the bonus stage. Now, there's a group of bananas which gives you more than just one, if you didn't tell that. And mostly when you get to the end of a level, it will say the exit sign. And even if you take your animal with you, you still won't have it next level, which really stinks. But if I were to have Donkey Kong with me and take it with me, then I would have him available for the next level. Now, I've already beat that level before. You can see the Donkey Kong head right there. That means that I completed the level with Donkey Kong the first time I played it through, but that time I played it with Diddy Kong, and basically that's what it means. Now, here's a thing called Frankie's Cabin, which basically, it just gives you helpful little hints and info along the game if you're a first-time player, and really it's very helpful if you've never played it before. I definitely recommend it. It gives you a good sense of what you need to do. But besides that, if you're pretty familiar with the controls and the gameplay, then there's really not much use in doing that. Now here's something called Funky Flights, and what Funky Flights does is, once you've, let's say, beat a world, not a world, but like a little area, and you want to go back to a previous one to maybe beat a boss or another level just for fun. Well, what you need to do is just go to Funky Flights. It's totally free, and it can take you back to any area or level you want previously that you've defeated, which is something really fun if you've already beaten the game and you really want to just go back and re-experience all the fun. Don't feel like starting a new file though, because you want to keep all of your percents. So definitely Funky Flights comes in very useful. I'll just go back to Area 1 because I also want to show you guys what a boss fight is like. Now, I remember when I first played this game, it probably took me at least 2 months to figure out what the boss was. And, I mean, not what the boss was, it's how to beat it. And now I'm basically a pro at it. It's just a big beaver. You can see he's got your bananas in the background that you want to steal back. But this is just one of the many bosses that you will face along the way. And they've all got your bananas that you're trying to take back. Pretty easy boss. At first, to me, it was really hard, and you're rewarded with a big Nintendo banana. What else would you give a monkey, though, seriously? One more thing in the first area that I forgot to mention. Sorry I'm getting off track a little bit, guys. This isn't probably the best review in the world for me, but I just really wanted to show you guys what this is like. I know I've said that a million times, but it really, if you haven't played this game, you really need to get it on Virtual Console. Honestly, I recommend getting it on the Super Nintendo console if you have one, because the gameplay is a lot better than on the Virtual Console controller. But that's just me. Okay, so the last thing I forgot to mention is that little booth that almost looks like a carnival booth. And it's called Candy Save Point. Candy Kong is Donkey Kong's secret lover. Not really. Sort of, but not really. You see, it also has one of those star barrels where you can save your data. But this star barrel isn't for saving your data in a level, it's for saving your data in the game percentage overall. So I'll just hop into that real quick to show you what it would look like. If I hadn't got past that before, I would save onto my percent, and then, like, let's say I wanted to turn off my console, I could start where I left off there. So that's a really cool feature. You always want to remember how to do that. I remember when I was little, I didn't remember to take the time to read what she was saying or what it was. So I just kept ending up doing level 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 over and over and over again. So pretty stupid of me on my part for not reading. Always read an old game because it helps a lot. I figured that out. So this is basically an overview of Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo. You might have not been able to tell much from what I've done, but overall it's a great buy and I definitely recommend getting it. And now here's a few updates that I'll tell you about while I fight King K. Rool. Now the first update is that me and Daniel are going to make a schedule for our live show, and that it will be posted in my next video. And something else I wanted to talk about coming up is soon is my 1-year anniversary on YouTube, and what the video I'm pretty sure I'm going to make for that is an updated version of my Nintendo collection, which I'm pretty sure all of you are excited about. I've got tons of requests for that, and so I'm doing that because that was my first video I ever posted on YouTube, and yeah. So, along with that next video, there will also be the live schedule that I told you about, and of course I just died. But anyway, that is basically it. Besides, be sure to subscribe to this, and there will be another Nintendo tutorial video coming out soon. Sorry there's been a big delay on that. But anyway, just comment, subscribe, rate this video 5 stars, and this is NintendoCollector, and I'll see you later.